At the conclusion of the ceremony, we'll have refreshments. Please stay and join us and take a look at the displays they have at the back. Each the parents and families have collected their memorabilia. Some of these boys have been in scouting, starting with tiger cubs in the Cub Scout program at the age of 6. So for 2/3 of their lives, they've been in scouting at this point, or even a greater percentage for the boys who are a little younger. And so a lot of their stuff is back there, interesting things to see. But Eagle Scouting is something that very few boys attain. Out of 100 scouts, when they come into the program, 28 will develop hobbies that they wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise. There's about 130 different merit badges, and they have to earn 21 of these to get Eagle. And so through all their various activities, they develop lifelong hobbies and interests through the scouting program. 17 will go on to become scout volunteers later in their life. 12 will receive their first time religious contact, and of course here at our troop we focus on that quite heavily, but for boys throughout the country, sometimes they have never even been to a church or have anyone share a message with them until they came into scouting. 5 will earn the Religious Award, and this is a program that's actually almost as hard as Eagle Scout to learn about the tenets of their religion and how it's practiced. 2 will actually go on to be in the clergy. And then out of 100 boys on average, and we're now celebrating the centennial year, and this has held through the last 100 years, out of every 100 boys, only 2 attain the rank of Eagle Scout. I now declare this Court of Honor in session. Today we have the honor and pleasure of recognizing 5 candidates for the award of Eagle Rank. This is an important and serious matter. These scouts, their parents and leaders have labored long and hard. We've worked with a lot of these boys for anywhere from 4 to 6 years to help them get to this point. Their efforts culminate in the presentation of the Eagle Scout badge. The success of these efforts will become evident in the way these Eagle Scouts will conduct their lives and all the lives that they may touch. Senior Patrol Leader, please come forward for the presentation of the colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the opening ceremonies. Salute. Color guard, advance the colors. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, approach the colors. Salute. 2. Color guard dismissed. Will the chaplain please come forward for the invocation?
Hats off. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, and thank you that we can acknowledge the achievements of these 5 boys And I just pray that you would bless these refreshments at the end to our bodies, and in your name, amen.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. Will the following 5 Eagle Scouts please come forward? Daniel Brown, Caleb Chapman, Joshua Myers, Timothy Seidler, and John Ulicki. When a boy becomes a scout, there should be instilled in him that which we call the spirit of scouting. So we have here a candle which represents the spirit of scouting. Because the spirit of scouting embodies the fine principles of the Scout oath and law, it becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light might be feeble, but when multiplied by millions of boys in scouting, it can become very powerful indeed. After a boy has entered scouting, the Scout law that he has promised to obey is put into effect as occasions may demand. And so one by one, the symbols that stand for the parts of the Scout law are lighted. There are 12 parts, all important and meaningful. Trustworthy, for scouts at this age, we make them use rub 2 sticks together. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and of course reverent. Each of these is an important cornerstone in the building of a strong character. And finally, the 3 points of the Scout Oath, which each Scout promises on his honor to do his best to do his duty. First, he pledges his oath to God and country. Second, to others by helping others at all times. And third, to himself by keeping himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. We will now make a careful review of the qualifications required of each of these candidates. Would the Scouts of Troop 316 please come forward for the presentation of the ranks. So when a boy enters the scouting program, his first rank is New Scout.
A boy earns Scout by understanding and promising to live by the Scout oath and law. He learns the Scout motto, slogan, salute, and hand claps, and understands the significance of the Scout badge.
Tenderfoot.
As Scout, he is assigned to and active in a temporary patrol within the troop. He repeats from memory the Scout oath and law and demonstrates how he practices them in everyday life. After demonstrating the required skills and knowledge required of a tenderfoot Scout, in a Scoutmaster conference and a board review of the troop committee, he becomes a tenderfoot Scout.
Second class Scout.
After showing Scout spirit and being active as a tenderfoot Scout and demonstrating his knowledge and skills required of a second class Scout through a Scoutmaster conference and a board of review with the troop committee, he becomes a second class Scout.
First class Scout.
A second-class Scout is active in the troop and patrol and shows Scout spirit. He may have already earned merit badges and other skill awards. He must demonstrate the knowledge and skills required of a first-class Scout through a Scoutmaster conference and a board of review. And then he becomes a first-class Scout and is graduated to a permanent patrol within the troop.
Star Scout.
As a first-class Scout for at least 4 months, the Scout is active and shows Scout spirit in his troop and patrol. He will earn 5 merit badges, 2 of which must be from the required list. He must also participate in at least 6 hours of service projects for his church, school, or community. He will also serve for 4 months or more in a troop leadership position. After passing a Scoutmaster conference and a board review with the troop committee, he becomes a Star Scout.
Life Scout.
Continuing along the scouting trail, a Star Scout must be active with his troop and patrol for at least 6 months and show Scout spirit and leadership. He must earn 5 more merit badges, 3 of which must be from the required list. After showing an additional 6 hours of service projects and passing a Scoutmaster conference and a board review with the troop committee, he becomes a Life Scout.
Eagle Scout.
To attain the highest rank in scouting, a Life Scout must be active in the troop and his patrol for at least 6 months. showing Scout spirit and leadership. He must